Hello, everybody. This is Fernando for yet another Godzilla News of the Day podcast. So, I'm catching up again from my vacation on these news articles. This one you guys are going to love because it actually has to do with the world of ghosts and spirits. So, much like a lot of my videos that I've dedicated to that subject, in this case, though, this one is some real news stuff. Very fascinating because it has to do with a popular set of films that came out regarding the Conjuring franchise and the ironic twist associated with this lawsuit. You guys are going to love this. So for starters, first, this Conjuring franchise, there's three of the films right now that have already been out. The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, and Annabelle. I've only seen the first one, if I'm not mistaken. It was alright, I guess. Like, it was fun. I like the stuff that's more, I guess, documentary type stuff as opposed to these jump scare type films. I'm just not really too much a fan of those. But the franchise definitely has its fans because these three movies have alone made close to $900 million, and there's going to be two more on the way, including I think it's another prequel to the Annabelle film. So lots of fans out there regarding this franchise. But lo and behold, this success has brought about a very prominent lawsuit, in this case from a guy named Gerald Brittle, who claims that these films are infringing upon his rights that he owns exclusively when it came to his agreements with Ed and Lorraine Warren, who are of course the main subjects of some of these films. So here's how it goes. He states that he wrote a book in 1980 called Demonologist. I've heard of that book. Never read it, but now it does get me interested in trying to find a used copy of it one of these days. But in it, he wrote about the experiences regarding Ed and Lauren Warren, some of the paranormal investigations that they had. But in more particular financial matters, it allowed him to obtain rights to their work and make sure that if there was anything as far as like any future films, then he would have the rights to them. The way it was, the agreement that was stated was the couple agreed to a quote-unquote no competing work provision that even after several decades, it's still in effect. So any works that would come out based on the subject matter of the demonologists, in this case their experiences as paranormal investigators, the stuff that was chronicled within the novel, he had the rights to them, and that way if any work would come out, then he would be able to get paid a fee for them as well. But get this, Warner Brothers decided, including New Line Productions and James Wan, I'm sorry, the director, because they're all named in the lawsuit by this guy Brittle. They decided to go ahead and make these films without contacting or seeking permission from this guy Brittle. In fact, the way that his lawsuit states, and I've included the link below from HollywoodReporter.com, very good stuff again with regards to this information. They stated to the screenwriters, don't pay attention to the book. In fact, try to avoid as much subject matter from the book because they don't have the rights to them. So they went forward with the films, chronicled some of the stuff, and made a bunch of money. But now, of course, this guy Brittle is stating that no. They, in turn, did not do this with his permission. Even if they didn't have some of the stuff listed within the book, it's still obviously part of the same investigations. So now he is seeking a huge lawsuit, $900 million to be exact. I think he might have missed a zero in there somewhere because that's a very, very large amount. But yes, him and his lawyers, they're all fighting Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers, in turn, is going to fight them. The article, I'll include a link also that includes a massive, like 400-page item associated, like the case file with this lawsuit. I kind of love reading these too because it goes to show into detail what these lawsuits pertain to, all the legalese tied to them. So very fascinating stuff. Now here's the twist. Here's why Warner Brothers said they went ahead with making these films without his permission, and that's because they claim that they didn't do stuff related to the book because the book dismisses some things as outright being false. I think That was their argument. Like, they were stating that the book is claiming that these investigations were false. Warner Brothers, though, is claiming that the investigations and the stuff they portrayed on screen are real. They're based on real facts. They're based on real cases, stuff that really occurred. So that's why they could get around seeking the rights of this guy Brittle, because he was stating that these were false. They're stating that it's true. So the irony is this goes to court, and in this case is that Warner Brothers has to prove their side. That's their argument. They're going to have to be, I think this might be the first case ever in any court's history, they're going to have to prove that there truly were ghosts within the locations, the places, whatever, that Ed and Lorraine Warren claim to have been in. Isn't that fascinating? Imagine if it goes that far, and that's truly the claim that they stick to, that they're going to have to prove that ghosts are real in order to avoid having to pay out $900 million. That's the extreme far thing, end of things. But if that's the case, that's going to be the most fascinating court case of all time, trying to prove that ghosts are real. This is definitely something I'm going to look forward to if it goes that far, and I'll be able to report more information for you here related to that. But yes, check out the link when you have a chance from Hollywood Reporter. Great information. And then check out the other link regarding the court documents as well if you have a chance. That way you'll get to see all the great stuff that I just mentioned. So, all right, everybody. Thanks again as always. Take care.